Hello again, it's Angelique, and today we are going to be making some seasoned lentils with smoked sausage and sauteed seasoned pork chops for dinner. So I have already gotten my ingredients out. To do my lentils, I'm using 1 small onion, a small bell pepper, I have some minced garlic, then I have some dry seasonings over here, and I have some dry herbs over here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut up our seasonings. I have already rinsed them off, so all we're going to do now is just cut them up. I love onions, so I tend to use probably more onions than some people just because I just like them like that. So we're going to cut these up, get these on the side in this bowl right here. So I won't be like, once I hit them this time, I won't be like doing them again, because again, I want you to be able to taste my onions. I know some people don't like onions like that, but we're not those people, so we will be using nice size pieces of onions so I can taste them in my lentils. I love lentils. It's so funny because my oldest son is here and he's literally sitting here telling me he's never had lentils. I'm like, I've cooked you lentils when you were little, so I don't understand how you sitting there saying you never had it. But okay, you're gonna have it today. How about that? Because if I'm in the kitchen cooking, that's what I'm cooking today. That's on my menu. He can make his own menu up, but on my menu, it's lentils. And I'm gonna go ahead on and cut my bell peppers up, and pretty much I'll put them in the same bowl. I'm not gonna do a separate bowl for them. We're gonna use the same old bowl. I like bell peppers too. There's really not too many vegetables I do not like, so I'm not picky like that. I pretty much, there's a few that I don't eat, but it's really not that many. I honestly just started eating peas like maybe 2 to 3 years ago. I never liked them. As a kid, I hated the way they smelled. I just never liked them. But I guess, you know, as they say, when you get older, your taste buds tend to change. So I actually really like them now. And I sit there and I'm like, dang, I was missing this. Again, lentils is one of those things where I kind of like my veggies kind of chunky. I want to be able to taste them. And then the only thing I'm putting in these lentils is the onions, bell pepper, garlic, and smoked sausage. Oh, and I am going to put a few little mushrooms in it. Just because I have them, I don't want them to go to waste. So we're going to use them in this. Now I probably won't use this whole bell pepper here. I'll probably use maybe about a half more to go in here. Just because, you know, if you use too many bell peppers, if you do too many, it'll make your gravy kind of green. We don't want green gravy. So we're going to put just enough bell peppers in there just to give it flavor and taste good, but not enough to dye our juice green. All right, there we have it. So now we got those cut up, and I do like a little spice in mine, so I would usually cut up jalapeno pepper and put some of that in here, but I'm out of them, so we're not going to worry about doing that today. But we will cut our smoked sausage up because we're going to saute this, and we're going to cut this up on the bias just because it gives it a nice pretty it just looks good. Cooking is one thing that I enjoy doing. It is part of my love language. When I cook, I like to cook with a lot of love, you know, especially when I'm cooking for my friends and my family. I want them to enjoy the food that I cook. So I like to take my time and put my heart and soul into it. It's one of the things that we do. I'm from New Orleans, so it's definitely part of our culture. Not to mention I actually graduated from culinary school in the 90s. So even though I don't do it as a living, I still enjoy doing it. So now that we have everything all cut up, we are now going to turn the fire on so that we can saute this. And I'm just gonna put it at about 8. I'm gonna throw a little infused olive oil in here. This olive oil is infused with wild mushroom and sage. I picked this up from a little spot in the Tanger outlet in Locust Grove. There's this really cool shop in there, and they sell all types of oils and dressings, and it's, I mean, they're mixed with it. There was a salad dressing in there that had coffee in it, and I'm a coffee fanatic, so I definitely had to try it. It was actually really, really good. And they have bread and crackers set up so that you can try any of the oils you want. It's almost like going to a winery and tasting the wine at a winery is how they're actually set up. Instead of having barrels, they have these little, I don't know what you call them, but they have spigots on them in order for you to pour out the salad dressing into little cups so you can taste it. So it's a really cool concept. They also sell like different salsas in there as well. I purchased a salsa from them too. They are a black owned company. African American female woman owns it. This is one of the salsas I got from there. I don't know, it's kind of bright in here, so I don't know if you can actually see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a pineapple salsa, and they let you taste that. And there's other sauces that they also sell, and they were actually setting up to start doing wine and wine tasting. Yeah, it was a really nice place. I don't know how they're coming along as far as the wine tasting, because it's been a minute since I've been there. So I need to go back, because I had actually bought 2 bottles, and as you can see, I've used this a lot. And the other bottle I had already went through, so that bottle is already gone. So we are going to saute this. This is actually some andouille sausage that I'm using. I really like andouille sausage. A lot of times I'll mix my smoked sausage. I'll do like an andouille, and I'll do maybe like a hot beef. Again, I do like a little kick. That's just me. I like a little kick. But today I am just doing the andouille. And it's pretty much just to kind of give my lentils a little body and not just have straight lentils. I mean, where we from, when we do legumes and beans and all, we like them to be pretty potent. We like to have stuff in them, you know, different types of meat. It's never just beans and rice. Always a little bit more. So again, we're going to saute this. We want to render all of this fat out of here, and we want this sausage to caramelize really, really nicely for us. See, I had me some tea going on here. Little herbal tea. Feeling pretty hungry. So I fixed the tea to kind of cut my appetite a little bit while I cook. I realized I've been doing so much today that I didn't stop to really eat anything significant. So now my body is like, hey, what you doing? You forgot about us. We need some nourishment. I've been sipping on water, but that's about it. And I did have like a little small slider that I made way earlier, but that's pretty much out of my system now. So it's just me and my son here, because the future is off to work and won't be back for a little while. So it's just me and my son. So I'm cooking enough for us for today and tomorrow, and to be able to bring some lunch to work, because I try my best not to spend money at work. So I'll just do a meal prep. It just makes more sense to me. It's looking pretty good, but we're going to let it go a little longer. Let me see if I can pull you in a little closer so you can see what's in my pot. There we go. Now you can see it a little bit better. With this, we don't even have to take the sausage out. All this is going to be done in one pot. So the oil that we use to put in is also going to be the same oil that we're going to use to sweat out our veggies with. So we're not going to take this out and drain it. We're actually going to use that fat to help to season these lentils. Give that a few minutes and let that just go. So now we're getting all of this nice little rendering of fat and sugar. So this sausage is like caramelizing really nice now that you see it. got a nice golden color to it. This is what we want. So all the sugars rising to the top to create that nice golden color, that caramelization that we absolutely love and adds so much flavor to the pot. I like to use these when I saute. I do have a spoon over here, but we're going to use this right now because it scrapes things up really nicely. So I think that's good enough. So now we are going to throw our seasoning in here. So that we can let that sweat out. Again, we want to sweat this till these onions and bell peppers soften up and get a little opaque in color. And by opaque, I mean they get a little translucent. You'll be able to kind of see through it. While that's doing that, I'm gonna also get my liquid together. And usually I would add like chicken stock or beef stock to this, but I went to the store and I didn't grab any. I don't see it here on this side. I don't see any on this side. Yeah, I clearly forgot to grab some when I was at the store. So we will be using straight water for this. But it's okay. We're going to make it work. It's like that sometimes. Well, that's looking good. That is looking good. So I'm just going to grab some water from over here. I love these pots. I picked these pots up from Marshall's. I got the whole little set. They cook so amazing. I absolutely love the way they cook. My son actually got a black set when he moved into his place because he liked them so much as well. Oh, that's looking real good. See all of that pretty color? See the color? How it's getting nice and translucent? Yep, that's what we want. Get our liquid together here. So when we're ready, we have it there. All right. I think that is good. So we're going to throw our lentils in. This is about a pound of lentils. It's going to make a lot of lentils. I always like to take my lentils and poke them. That's just how I do it. You know, some people don't do that, but that's how I do it. And now we're going to add this water. I'm not going to add all this water. We will add about that much of it. That liquid is going to pick up all the stuff that was sitting at the bottom of this pot. All that goodness from me sauteing the meat and the veggies. It's going to be sitting right at the bottom. I love cooking things like lentils and beans because it's pretty much like a one-pot meal. It's pretty much what it is. Go ahead on and throw these mushrooms I have in here. Because again, I like mushrooms. I didn't want my mushrooms to go to waste. So I'm like, I can put that in my lentils. When I was a vegetarian, I used mushrooms for everything. It was truly like my steak. I did a pescatarian life, I should say, not vegan. I did a pescatarian life for like a year. It wasn't hard at all. It was easy for me to do. I just really like a good piece of lamb chop. So that didn't last too long. Now, I'm going to add all of my seasoning, which in here I have some black pepper, some Himalayan pink sea salt. I have some smoked paprika, some garlic powder, onion powder, some Tony Sacheria, and a little bit of Sazon in here. And all of that's going into my pot. along with my dry ingredients, which is some bay leaves, some parsley, a little bit of cilantro, and some thyme. And again, this is a 1-pot meal, so at this point, I'm just gonna put the top on this, and we just gonna let this do what it's gonna do, and add liquid as we need it. I'm gonna add a little more because I know I'm gonna need a little bit more. There we go. We're gonna let that go ahead on and do its thing. I'm gonna put the top on it and let it do its thing, and in the meantime I'm gonna clean up all my mess, because one thing I can't stand is a dirty kitchen. So we are not gonna do these pork chops right now. We're gonna continue to let them sit in the seasoning that they've been sitting in. They'll pretty much be the last thing that I do. So we're just gonna throw some wax tape over this, and we'll keep it. We'll put it back in the refrigerator. So now that this is on, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna let this go ahead on and cook, and then when it's just about ready, I'm gonna come back. We're gonna saute these pork chops. I'll put the rice in a rice cooker. It'll probably be in there before you guys come done. We don't need to go over rice. I think everybody pretty much knows how to do rice, especially in a rice cooker. But once they're done, we'll get these all sauteed and plated up so you can see what it looks like. Okay, I'll see you in a few. Okay, so I am back. We are done with our lentils. Actually, I have them turned on to low now. As you notice, I moved this pot back here, and I have this pot up here getting warm so that I can prepare to do these chops. Lentils don't take long to cook, so as you can see, they are all done and ready. Very good, very good. Nice and creamy. If anything, I'll probably add just a tad bit of liquid to them, which I think I'm gonna do right now. Just because I want them just a little bit looser, I'll add just a tad bit of liquid while that's getting hot. So I used the last little bit of my oil, my infused oil, into this grill pan. I just want to spread that all around, spread some of that love throughout all of these little grill marks on here. So now we're going to put a little bit of liquid in here. I add just a little bit more liquid to our lentils, just because I don't like them too tight. And one thing about lentils, after they sit and they start to cool down, just like most lentils or beans, they tighten up some. So I like them just a little bit looser, so I'm adding just a little bit more liquid to them. Again, typically I would have like some sort of stock to put in here, but since I forgot to get it from the store, yeah. Speaking of the store, I went to the grocery store, me and my son, last week to make groceries, and I think I spent like a little over $300. Why my basket didn't look like I spent over $300?
She don't know what she doing, y'all, by the way.
This my son. I taught him everything he know. He cooked too. But yeah, I spent like over $300, and I'm looking at my basket and I'm like, what did I get in this basket that's like $300? So yeah, so I probably purposely forgot to get chicken stock with those prices. We're gonna throw these in here. And this is going to fit all 4 of these in here nicely. We're going to get all of these done at one time. One of them is kind of broken up. I guess that'll be mine.
Smells good, man.
Thank you, honey.
Smells real good. Isn't that pork chops?
Yep. Some nice thin pork chops. Because although I like to eat, I can't eat a whole lot, so these are perfect for me, and even with that I'll probably eat maybe half. But again, we have lunch. I got enough lentils in this pot to freeze some so that I can have lunch at work without paying my money back to my job. I did manage to get the kitchen nice and clean. So my dad was a cook as well, which is where I got my love for cooking from him. I should have raised this up some. Let me raise my tripod up some. So anyway, as I was saying, I got my love for cooking from my father, who cooked for a living for a while. In my younger years, I used to be in the kitchen with him. He was a chef on the boat, on the rigs in New Orleans, and he would be gone for like, he would do like 6-month tours, and then he would come home, or 3-month tours, and then he would come home. He would go to all of these fascinating places. And the way he offset the fact that he was away from us so long is every time he came back home, he would bring us something. Like if they went out to Mexico, he would bring something back. Like he brought me this really beautiful Mexican doll back. That to this day I regret that I don't have it anymore. But yeah, so I used to be under him, because when he would come home off of his tour, he would take over because my mom also worked. So he would comb my hair. He would make sure, you know, we had breakfast, that we had dinner, that if it wasn't a school day, we had lunch. He made sure to take care of us when he got back in. So he would always tell me when I would be in the kitchen with him that people should smell what you're cooking, but they shouldn't be able to see it. In other words, your kitchen should not be dirty while you're cooking. You should have hot water, which, thanks to Dad, God rest his soul, he said you should always have hot water in a sink so you can wash your dishes as you're going. And so that was a huge thing that I did learn from him. And even when I went to culinary school, it was reiterated there. But by that time, I had already understood that you clean as you go. So for me, I cannot stand to cook and have mounds of dishes when I'm cooking. You know, I have to like wash them as I go and wipe my countertops down and keep them nice and clean and keep a towel next to me for my hands. Cook with an apron. These are all things that was instilled in me from my father to culinary school. So it's just things that have stuck with me. Good habits, you know, I like them. So passing that little tidbit on to you. No one wants to come in your house and eat your food and your kitchen is like grossly nasty. That is disgusting. So yeah, we're not going to do that. So these are like little minute chops. They don't take long to cook. By the way, off the camera, I did add to my lentils, I did add a little Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of hot sauce to it. So I added a little Louisiana Crystal to it and a little bit of Lea and Perrine to it. I always do that to my beans and lentils. So off the camera, I did that. And I also off camera, like I told you, I did put the rice on. We're actually using jasmine rice tonight, and the rice is already cooked and it's done as well. So at this point, we're only just waiting on the chops. I love how this pan creates the grill markings. So if you look at this pork chop, you can see the grill markings from this pan. Love this pan. And this is a part of that set here that I got. You know, they say an artist is only as good as the tools they use, and I truly believe that. I am a real kitchen person, so when I get things for my kitchen, I get just about everything that I could possibly think that I could use. Do I have everything I need? No. But because I do like to cook and I do like to bake, I have like my own pastry stuff. So when I'm baking and decorating cakes, I have everything, turntables and all, you know, and lots of kitchen gadgets that I have tucked away in the cupboards because I just don't want the countertop to be loaded with all of my kitchen gadgets. But yeah, it is one of the things that I truly, truly have a passion for. It's getting there. I'm going to turn this pan around because sometimes with these electric stoves, they have hot spots. So one spot might get hotter than the other one. They don't do even cooking, which is why I love gas more. But this apartment came with electric, so hence This is what we're using. Now, when we build our house, because we was in the process of having a house built last year, that kind of changed up. So we decided to go into an apartment, and now the plan is to just buy some land of our own and just build a house on the land, you know, maybe about 2-3 acres, because we both like a little bit of land. You know, I got a little country in me, and he has a whole lot of country in him. So, you know, we need space. I need a place to put my raised garden and to have my herb garden, which I had in New Orleans at my house there. I had, and this was the house I grew up with, because right before Katrina, I purchased the house I grew up in from my parents, and my parents moved here. And I had like a banana tree and an apple tree and a persimmon tree and an orange tree, berries that grew along the fence, the sunflower seed tree, a mulberry tree, a pecan tree. Plus I had my little herb garden that had like my chives and my parsley and all of that good stuff in it. So yeah, I need to be able to do that again, because it's nothing like fresh herbs and vegetables, nothing like it. Nothing like picking those tomatoes and bell peppers right out your own backyard. So these are almost done. They are almost done. We're going to let them go just a little bit longer, and then we are going to take these babies out. I want to get a small container to place them in. And I just need a small one, because technically, once we eat, I want you to have so many. All right, now they done. So I'm just gonna go ahead on and remove these chops out of this pan. And then what I'm gonna do is go ahead on and plate this up. Since the rice is done, the lentils is done, we're gonna plate this up, and then we're gonna let y'all see what it's like. Give me just a second. Okay, as y'all can see now, I am back, and I have everything all plated up. This is what it looks like. We got our sauteed seasoned pork chops and our seasoned lentils with sausage in it, and there you have it. So we're gonna taste this, and we're gonna see what it's hitting for. Grace first. Amen. All righty. I actually put this over some jasmine rice. I don't know if I mentioned that. I love jasmine rice, so I put it over some jasmine rice. That is good. That is good. Try the pork chop out. Perfect combination. Perfect. I love lentils, and they're so good for you. That is so good. So there you have it. Hope you guys like this video. Hope you try this out. If you do, please comment at the bottom and let me know what you thought about it. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Hit the bell to be notified about any other videos that I upload. And I will see you guys on the next video, because I am about to eat, and then I am going to relax. All right. Y'all have a good one. Bye.